everyone, it's Lisa here with you today on the Crafty Meraki YouTube channel. Today I thought I would create a card with a loving heart stamp set and its die. I'm also going to use the craft around background die, and my sentiments are going to come from the Affluent heart dies and the hot foil plates. So we're going to start off by stamping the loving heart stamp onto some Nina Classic Crest Solar White 80-pound cardstock. I'm using Memento Tuxedo black ink today, as I'm going to be doing some Copic Colouring. I'm just making sure there that I've got all the areas covered, so just pressing down on some of the lighter areas. So we're going to move into the Copic Colouring now. And I'm going to put the numbers of the markers up on the screen in case you find that helpful and want to try the different blends that I use. As this is quite a large image to colour, I have sped up some sections of the colouring, and I have as well skipped some of the sections. For instance, if I colour a flower in the same markers 3 times, I've taken some of that footage out just so that you don't have to sit and watch the whole image, but you do see it come together obviously as we move through the video. So I've started here with the largest flower, and I colour from dark to light. There's no reason you can't colour from light to dark. I just prefer to go dark to light. It just suits me better, but I say this every time I use Copics. You really have to find your own way with your colouring and do what suits you best. So my blend here is R29, RV29, RV14 and RV13. Actually, R29 and RV29 are quite similar. You could probably skip one of those colours. If you didn't have that colour, it wouldn't matter. You could still do a 3 marker blend. You definitely don't need to have all the Copic markers. You can certainly drop some colours. Just experiment with the markers that you have and see what blends you can get. So I'm moving on now to the first set of leaves. These are the leaves that are just around the rose image, and I've put the markers up on the screen there. For all the other leaves in the image, I use a different set of green markers, but I'll put that up on the screen as and when I come to colour those. For the flower centres, I use 2 markers on the slightly larger centres, but for the really little flowers, I've just used the lightest of the yellows. And now we're moving on to all of the other leaves. So I've got my second blend of greens up there on the screen, and I'm going to go round the image and just colour those all in one go. And I'm going to pop some music on now for you to listen while I move through the rest of the colouring, and I will be back again at the end. Okay, so now we've finished our colouring, I'm just going to take the coordinating die and run that through my Gemini Junior. Now that it's cut out, I just wanted to see what it looked like with a red background. So taking a piece of cherry cardstock here, and I like how that's looking, so I decide to go ahead and cut that with the Craft Around A2 cover die. And I'm just taping it down to make sure it doesn't shift when I run it through the die cutting machine. And then I'm going to pop out all of those little pieces. This is a great little tool from Spellbinders that's really handy to get all those little pieces out of your die cuts. It also has a pokey tool on the end, which I use just to get the last few pieces out. So I'm just going to go ahead and add some wet adhesive onto the back of that panel, and I thought that I would go for a kind of tone on tone background. So I've created a card base with the same red cardstock, just going to add little dabs of glue all over the back there and then just secure that down on top of my base card. I thought that having a red tone on tone background would give lots of kind of drama and impact, but I really didn't want it to detract from the floral heart, which of course is so pretty and definitely needs to be the star of the show. So just popping that on with some thin foam tape. And now I'm going to work on my sentiment. And as luck would have it, I did have a sentiment already foiled that I thought would go well. So this is the Love You sentiment from the Affluent Heart Hot Foil Plate set. And it has been foiled with black foil in the Glimmer hot foil system, and it was cut out with the coordinating dies from the Affluent Heart coordinating die set. So I did actually cut another couple of layers of white cardstock, which I'm just adhering together here to form a small stack, and then I'm going to add my foiled sentiment onto the top. And just using my tweezers there just to adhere those down into the center of the heart. And I really like how you get the pop of black and white against the red. And I'm going to go ahead and add some gems to finish off the card. This is the Meraki Sparkle Mystical Maroon gems from the latest release. They look really nice with the red cardstock. And that brings us to the end of today's card. Thank you so much for joining me here on the YouTube channel today. I hope that you enjoyed seeing the card come together. I will be back again with another card for you next week. In the meantime, I hope that you have a lovely weekend. Bye for now.